Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are in the world. It is our Matt the Southern Gooner. Tony Clark Gunner is in the building, and we've got my man, special guest surprise, y'all. What I'm going to tell you, just let him show up. We got Ola from the Fight Week Show in the building.
What's happening, people?
Gentlemen, how y'all doing this morning? Hey, brother.
No, I like your special guest. I like you to,
bro,
you're a guest on this show.
I'm doing great. Especially the last few days. What's been going on in the world of football in the transfer market is unprecedented. And I mean, we're gonna talk about it, but I ain't never seen nothing like this. Not a lot shuts me the fuck up. But they did something recently that literally did that. It shut me the fuck up. So yeah, let's talk about it.
Yep. Tony, man, how you doing, brother? No, I know how you do. I know how you do it. I see that smile on your face. I know how you doing this morning.
See, thanks for this big surprise because you made this guest a big surprise today, and it happens to be someone I respect so much, my big brother. Yeah. Ola in the building, man. Ola, it's nice to have you on this show, man. Respect for you
sir.
Anytime, any day. And Matty, it's a transfer show. You can see me, I'm smiling. So it's not gonna be a fumey kind of show today, but it still has, one or two doubts here and there. But man, majority of our talk today would be how Arsenal is rolling in the deep, and how Edu is kind of cooking in a way. But is that cooking enough? Well, just listen to the panel today and find out if he is cooking enough. So let's see. Big ups to everyone in the chat. Smash that like button, guys. It's the transfer show. Come on, guys.
Drop the elbow on it. Drop the elbow on it. As Tony said, Edu is trying to cook a little something. We see the pot is simmering. He got a little bit of oil in there. He got a little bit of vegetables. We got just a sprinkling of chicken. He hadn't got to the beef yet. But he's getting there. He's seasoned the meat this time, it looks like. We got some rice to go in there with it. Some of that jollof, my brethren.
Some of that jollof rice.
Jollof, my brethren. Some of plantains, you know how we do it. And so everything is looking pretty good this week, man. This was a good week for Arsenal fans across the board. Let's get right into it. First signing this week revealed was Kai Havertz. Everybody has their opinions about this deal. 65 million. 65
was it revealed or leaked?
Yeah, bro. I just couldn't believe that. Hey, Ola. Me and you about the same age. You remember back in the day, man, when videos were, old VHS videos, man. I looked. I was like, this look like something that came out of '92, man. And I was like, what is this? It was like an old Paulie Shore video or something that, it's like, what is this? Arsenal doing here?
Background about? What was that background?
I mean, if anybody in the chat remember what I'm talking about, Paulie Shore from back in the 90s, man, y'all know what I'm talking about. This look like some Encino Man type stuff, and it's just like, well, what are we doing here? But we got the deal, they announced it. Immediately he went and took pictures of the dogs in the new kits. so we know they have a banner up at the Emirates this year. Ola, we're gonna go with you right out the gate. Ola, what's your take on Kai Havertz coming in here to the club, and what's your expectations? I mean, 65 million is a lot of over here we say Benjamins. Over there, you got notes. That's a lot to throw down on the.
A lot of wonga, man. It's a lot of wonga. That's another term that we use for the Benjamin over here. And look, I wasn't expecting it. Number one. Number two, you and I both know how much I hate us doing Chelsea any kind of favors. I don't like giving Chelsea my money, bro. I know it's not my money, but like Arsenal money, you know what I mean? I don't like it ending up in Chelsea's pocket. And when you look at the way Todd Bowley is gone around escaping this FFP malarkey, we've helped them to escape that situation with this signing as as big as £5 million outlay, you know, and they got the cheek to knock people back as well. Like, we should be getting these players for like 15, 20 million because you man are in trouble. You man are in trouble. There's no way we should be selling 65 million for that type of player. I see United pay 60 million for Mount. I mean, they're making big money off these players. I don't know how they've convinced anyone, especially when you look at the performances of said players over the last 2-3 seasons, right? When you look at the performances of said players in Mount and Kai Havertz, it's been next to diabolical. They won the Champions League, but when we look at the performance levels, like overall, like this man's had 3 managers in one season. They just getting managed sacked left, right, center. Because when managers do get sacked, I'd never always put it on just the manager. The players are going to look at themselves as well. You know what I mean? And these players have seen set, you know, a different managers sacked. But look, Havertz, I don't know how he's going to fit in Arteta's plan. Only Arteta knows this because he went and nailed for this player. You know, so I don't know what plans he's got for him. But like you said, we've been saying this off air. It's got to work.
Yeah,
it's got to work because I can't take another laughing situation like Pepe. You know, we already had that. We already been there. You know, we're already going to put that amount of money on someone like Kai Havertz. I think it could have been better spent somewhere else, but because we don't know how Havertz is literally going to pan out, we just gotta wait and see. I want to give him a chance. I'm here to be proven wrong. I'm here to be surprised. I'm here, you know, I'm here for it all. But what I'm not here for is Kai Havertz performing shit and we're not able to call it out.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm not here for.
Say that one more time for the people in the back. One more time for the people in the back. One more time.
What I'm not here for is Kai Havertz performing shit and we're not able to call it out. That's not what I'm here for. You know what I mean? That's the one thing. But prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I'm here for it. I'm here to see it.
Yeah,
you know,
I think that, you know, this is so over here in America, NFL. This would be the type of move that you would see like a player who is on the back end of his career, and you get that one last big opportunity. This is his one last big opportunity. And as a player, he has to look at himself in the mirror and realize, I'm coming with a heavy price tag. I have underperformed the last 3 years. It's put up or shut up now. It is put up or shut up. And I'm of this ilk. He's got 2 years to do something, because we don't have time to goof off with you know, like you said, you know, we paid 72 for Pepe, and then now, you know, we see how that go. Tony, we talk about it all the time, how you know we get these players and then we pay big time money, and then we get we you know, they don't pan out, and then we have to, you know, take chicken scraps to get them out of the team. And we've got this is a case of he has to hit the ground running, whether he's coming off the bench, whether he's starting, whether he's wiping the benches down, whatever he's doing, he has to be at the highest quality of it to help this team, because this year is about winning. We have to win this season. These signings, when you're spending the money that we're spending this week, that we spent this week, this is about competing and winning. Not just competing, but competing and winning. So he has to be sold out on that this year, and he has to look at his game. You know, all this joke. You know, I've seen a lot of jokes. You know, Berghertz and Robin Van Havertz and all this stuff. You know, and so what we've got to do is he needs to be making phone calls. That's who he needs to be calling. He needs to be calling Dennis Bergkamp, say, hey man, let's sit down and break down some film. Let's look at some stuff. And he needs to be working on the things to make himself a better player. Tony, you were one of the first people that said you wanted to give him a shot, wanted to give him a look in this year. What's your thoughts now that the deal has crossed the line?
See, yeah. Actually, I was very skeptical about this Havertz deal. It's not like I took it in hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I had my doubt, about this guy when everyone was hollering like, "Where did this news come from?" I was part of that team that said, I'm a bit skeptical about it. The thing is, yeah, I pride myself in being a fair person. How do you look out for yourself in being a fair person? You look at the statistics, yeah? So, good. Let's check the statistics, right? That's the only parameter that could actually help you get a very fair divide and see if you're giving Kai Havertz a bit of a fair chance. So, let's see. Bayer Leverkusen, 2018-2019 season. This guy, that was his highest goal tally that he has ever raked up for a football club ever, and that was 17 goals in 34 appearances in the German Bundesliga. That was 17 with 3 assists, just 3 assists, and 17 goals scored. That's the highest. In fact, those were the figures that actually propelled him to a move to Chelsea at the time. Then he spent one more year down there in the 2019-2020 season, and the highest goal he got was about 12, just 12 goals, yeah, with 6 assists and 30 appearances for Bayer Leverkusen in the German Bundesliga at the time, and that was when he now got his call up to Chelsea. So, in other words, even at his best, he hasn't really been this kind of like a prolific goal scorer. And one thing I do attach to goal scorers, if you're a goal scorer, or if you're not really a goal scorer, really, if you're not putting up good figures, one thing you have to be putting up for me is assists. Because personally, I attach assist to goals scored. So if you're not putting in the goals, make sure your assist is actually higher than whatever you're even putting up. If it's not goals, if it's goals, good. If it's assist, just make sure it's at par with what people would say, if it's not scoring goals, it's helping at least. And I'm sorry, Kai isn't that guy to give you those goals. Neither is he that guy to actually give you those assists. So good, let's judge him in the Premiership, right? That's the only way we could actually get a fair assessment. Good. His first season at Chelsea, played 27 games, scored just 4 goals in his first season for Chelsea, and got what? How many assists? Just 3 assists. So in other words, personally for me, 7 goals. Not good enough. In his second season for Chelsea, 2021-2022 season, 29 games played, he scored just 8 goals for Chelsea Football Club and had just 3 assists in the Premiership. Is that good enough? Well, you do the maths. Do you do the maths? Yeah. Good. In his last season, just this past season, yeah, which should be the statistics that Arsenal should be looking upon to use to bring him to Arsenal, if that was the case. Yeah. That's if we're not panicking in the market and go buying through panic buys. If we're really checking up his statistics as a player, which is what most clubs should do before buying a player, right? Good. Last season, 2022-2023 season, what did he do? 35 games played, 7 goals scored, and just 1 assist. So as you can see, he's neither a prolific goal scorer, neither is he a prolific assist giver. So everything right now, just look at the dynamics. He's not a good goal scorer. He's not really that guy that posts assists. So right now, the blame, if this guy falters this season, the blame would be on the people that bought him, and to be solely, in the hands of Mikel Arteta. I'm sorry, and Edu at the same time. And again, see, you're going into the market, you're buying someone, for £65 million. That's big money. You're paying almost 80% of what Chelsea Football Club actually paid for this guy to bring him from the German Bundesliga, from Bayer Leverkusen. They paid about £72 million for this guy, and Arsenal's paying about 65. That's almost 80% paid. No discount, no discount.
Up front.
That's how rigid Chelsea do business. They have good negotiators. If you're not playing quite well, what do? Go get good negotiators who would negotiate for you and get good prices for your players. Arsenal is not doing that right now. We're not selling players at that pace. We're not getting players and helping them in their resale value. We're not getting any of these at all. But see, Chelsea have sold this guy to us. I really do think that we overpaid for him in a way. We overpaid for him. But again, if you check the market, yeah, Manchester United just sealed the deal for Mason Mount, yeah, for about 50-something million pounds. So you could see that maybe the market is a bit harsh this days. It's a little bit overboard this day. So maybe getting Kai Havertz for 65 might not really be that bad if you're checking the climate of the market these days. If Manchester United is getting a ruddy, washed up Mason Mount for about 50, if Liverpool is getting Dominic for around that price too, you can see that the market is overheated, is overpriced. So, we give them that slack for at least even bringing him in for that price. Good enough. But this is where the problem is. If he doesn't post up the figures, that will galvanize the team and that will help the team. We know who to hold responsible for that, innit?
Yeah. Yep. And I want to bring up this point. I'm gonna get into I got a couple of comments here. I got started here that I want to get into. But the first one, I had to write it down. It was on my mind. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I had to write it down. Did y'all see how quickly we moved with this Kai Havertz deal? And this is the type of business. It's just bang, bang, boom, as you say, Tony. Boom, 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 boom,
tap, boom,
tap, boom,
boom,
tap, boom. That was done quickly. There was no fumbling around. There was no lollygagging. It was Arteta wants to play it, get the player. No lollygagging. This is how we need to approach. It's like what we did with the Timber deal, and we'll get to him in a little bit. But you see the player, you identify the player, you pay for the player, and then you move on. This is the way we should be moving going forward. I want to bring up this point here. This is something I heard Lee Gunner bring up yesterday as well. Is about have you heard the rumors that Pepe and Arteta have had a heart-to-heart, and Pepe might get back in the team? He needs to be in the team. We need proper coverage for Bukayo Saka in case he gets hurt. I mean, let's just stop beating around the bush. We got lucky that he did not get a major injury with the amount of output he had all last year. The man played a almost full calendar year of football. And I mean, it's a miracle. The only thing I can think of, fellas, is, you young buck, you 20, 21, you invincible, let him be 27 and do that and watch what happens. And I guarantee, he'll be breaking down like a used Ford Taurus. I'm telling you, we have got to have coverage. That's one of the extra signings that I think we need. We need about 3 more signings, and right wing is one of them. We got to have somebody over there that can provide coverage in case, because see, that's what we all complained about last year, is when it got hot, when it got hot and heavy, and we were in the final stretch, stuff just started falling apart because we didn't have what we needed. I still have faith in Pepe. I still have a little faith in him. Do I expect him to go out and score 18, 20, 19, 42 goals? No. But realistically, can he help this team? Yes. I think he still has a part to play in this. And then too, we need him to do well so that we can raise his value if we want to move him on. Because like I said, $72 million, you got to at least get something for him if you're going to move him on. Ola, your thoughts on this, brother?
Look, Pepe is somebody. It's a player that I like a lot. I like his vibe a lot. But the problem with Pepe, it's not like he can't play football, because we all know what he's capable of on a good day. For me, I was starting to think, is it a systemic issue? Because if it's a systemic issue with how we play and how Pepe likes to approach the game, and if it's not margin up, he's gonna be left frozen on the bench again. I don't care how much heart-to-heart talk that he got with Arteta. I'm sure Arteta had the same heart-to-heart talk with Jurrien Timber, but he's still on the bench while we're watching Zinchenko literally leaves untold amount of green space open behind him to let perpetrators in. to let opposition in. And Arteta's going to do what Arteta's going to do. Yeah, he's going to talk to them before the season starts. But once the season gets going, for me, it's kind of looked to me that Arteta still kind of has like his go-to and favorites. And if you're not one of those guys, I mean, the minute you're going to see, I don't, the minute you're going to see, the only good thing is we got a lot of football to play this season. Being back in the Champions League and all, we've got a lot of games. We've got a lot of games to play. So hopefully, maybe bringing somebody like Pepe off the bench can change a lot of situation with tired defenders. What if we've been running at them all game? Maybe Pep, what Pepe can do can unlock. The problem that I have with Pepe is him knowing when to release the ball, because sometimes Pepe will do so much skill, he'll run on and even forget the ball behind him. Like, bro, what you doing? You know what I mean? You're doing all this crazy shit.
Yeah, in the ball.
You can't even work out your feet. You ran off and you left the ball. Like, bro, you know what I mean? You can't do that. Not at the level of football that we want to play to get us to the promised land. Because we was on our way to the promised land yesterday. We had 1 puncture, then 2 punctures, then 3 punctures. Then we got all 4 wheels just flat out, and we got no spare wheels. That was what happened to us last season. We can do that this time. We already know what ruined it. Let's make sure that we got recoveries on track. Let's make sure that we got players of the same quality that can step in when these tires are down. You want the same quality of players to come in, and so that way there isn't that much drop off. We suffered from drop off. That's what Arsenal suffered from the most over the last decade. The drop off, because the first 11 ain't always as bad.
Yeah,
it's the drop off in quality when you start looking at a bench and the people that can come in and do something. And I wanted to make one quick analogy as well on this whole Kai Havertz thing.
Yeah, I'll have to talk on that Pepe stuff later on when you finish.
Give me 1 second. This whole Kai Havertz thing as well. I've always said, anybody that knows me know what I say. I don't care what player is done in another team, wearing another team shirt.
Yeah,
I don't give a damn. I don't care how good you look in that shirt. I don't care how bad you look in that shirt. But when you put my shirt on, when you carry my badge, that's where I judge you. That's where I look at you. That's where I ask I'm going to ask them difficult questions if you're not pulling your weight, I only care about what you do in my shirt. What you've done for other teams, none of that really bothers me as much. It's what you do in my shirt. And Arteta is kind of looking at this broad that they say belongs to the streets, but he wants to make him a housewife. Let's see how
I'm pulling the punches, man. This is what you brought in today, man.
You dropping hammers. You dropping hammers. Shout out to my man Warren's Team Talk in the building.
Warren Team Talk.
I'll be over there with him next Sunday. We'll be chatting it up. Warren has a couple of things here. He says that Pepe has been treated appalling by Arsenal, in my opinion. He's the most naturally gifted player in the Arsenal squad. I don't believe Arteta has had a heart-to-heart with Pepe. You know what I'm going to say, Ola, and this actually ties back to what you were talking about with Arteta and his favorites. One thing I want to see from him this year is he's going to have to show me some growth as a manager, because that's one of the things that I know I complained about last year is his lack of naivety, his naivety in positions, not knowing when stuff is not working, going away from things that he normally did. So, if Saka's out of form, sit him down. It's time in order to win. And we saw it last year. We saw it last year play out with City, with Pep. When a player is out of order, he sits them down. There's no question about it. The man put Kevin De Bruyne on the bench. It says, sit there. You sit there until you get yourself together, and then I will put you back in and get sorted out. We need for him this year to take an honest assessment of, because it's going to be, let's put it like this, fellas. This season is going to be a running, it's going to be ups and downs. He's going to have to look at this team, and he's going to have to do it fairly quick because we're going to have. I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but I think the 8th game of the season is City or something along that line. I think so. Immediately this year, he's going to have to make an assessment and go from game to game. It's going to have to be almost a game-to-game ordeal, but he looks at the team. Can this team get me what I need? We're getting ready to play. We're getting ready to play a Burnley. Do I want him to use this player against Burnley? He's going to have to actually manage this year. This is his most important season as the manager. This is it. This is the season here that's going to tell you all you need to know about his management lifespan here at the club, because he's going to have to the training wheels off. The project that talk is over with now. Somebody brought it up earlier in the chat. I think I got it started here. It's time to win. It's time to win. It's time to win now. So he's going to have to make all of the right moves for us to be able to move to win this season. And it's going to have to start with making tough decisions. He's going to make some tough decisions this year, and it's going to have to make some people mad. And he's going to have to go against some of our fan base that want to, it's just like with the whole Xhaka ordeal. You're going to have to go against what sometimes what these fans want. They're in the stadium. Keep. We got to play here. We got to play. He's out of order. The player's out of form. Y'all still want to play this guy just because y'all like the guy? No. We need to play with what wins this year. It's about what gets the job done. Tony, I know you're stewing over there, brother. I know you're ready to let go. I'm passing the ball to you now, brother. It's all yours.
Yeah, it's about this Pepe stuff. I have a completely different idea, from what you guys are talking about, Nicolas Pepe. I beg to differ. Warren, I respect you so much. Warren talked about Pepe being the most naturally gifted player, in the charts down there. Fair enough. But I do think William Saliba, I don't know why we don't look at defenders. They don't look at other areas when it comes to the best of the best in the field of play. There are 11 players. I really do feel that Saliba is the best gifted player in that Arsenal shirt. The way our also players, is positional awareness for a defender, and for that age, is simply tremendous. So I really do think is the most gifted player we have out there on an Arsenal shirt. Going into this Pepe stuff here, see, I'm sorry, I would have to disagree with this trying to reintegrate Pepe into the team. We've been crying out for standards, in this football club, crying out for standards, crying out for competition. I'm sorry, guys, Pepe isn't that competition that we need in this team. We need we're a big team. We should go out there and go get a big competition for Bukayo Saka. Good. I told you, I'm a fair guy. And the way I look at fair things is by checking the proof in the pudding. So I'll give you the proof in the pudding. Nicolas Pepe, let's see. His biggest season ever where he's performed, was in the 2018-2019 season, and that was in Lille. You know what? He played 38 games in the French League 1, for Lille. And you know how many goals he scored? 22 goals, a whooping 22 goals. Now, in the previous season, before that season, he played 36 and scored 13 goals. He also put up assists, about 6 assists. But you know what? That propelled him into Arsenal. In his first full season for Arsenal, when he was with Unai Emery. Now, not Mikel Arteta, Unai Emery. He played 31 games. And how many goals? Just 5 goals. How many assists? 6 assists. Yeah, good. Unai Emery got the chop. Mikel Arteta came into the fray. And he played 29 games and scored 10 under Mikel Arteta. And then the next season, 2021 season, he played 20 games and only scored 1 goal. I'm sorry, the proof is in the pudding. The numbers are not okay. It doesn't sit well with me trying to reintegrate something that doesn't work. It's only a fool that tries something again and again, the same thing, and then you end up with the same results.
Can I challenge something you said there, Tony, though? Can I challenge something you said there real quick? Real quick.
But again, we're a big club. Why
let
can't
me
we
challenge
go
something you
and
said
get
there real quick.
Moussa Dembele?
Go at it.
Moussa Dembele. Moussa
Hold on, Tony.
Dembele.
Hold on, Tony.
What
Tony,
is
Tony.
this? See, Arsenal's a big football club. You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah,
Arsenal's
so
a big football club. Let
me
us
out.
go and do business like a big football club.
Hear
Go
me out,
into
Tony.
the transfer window, yeah? You're looking at someone to compete with Bukayo Saka. Go and get Moussa Dembele. It's his natural position. Yeah, and this Nicolas Pepe, it's a failed project. We don't need all these failed players. And now I'm not only talking about, see, you have to be harsh. Teams like Manchester City, yeah, you know what? When Cancelo started messing up in that team, what happened?
Thank you,
They
Mike
shipped him up to
Santana.
Bayern Munich. They shipped him up to Bayern
Tony,
Munich.
you didn't let me get
You
to my
have to
question.
have the balls to ship these big bad players off. Off you go. You mess up, off you go. You're not part of this team, off you go. You can't put up with the numbers, even if you have good behavior, off you go. And bring in killers, assassins. Just like my brother here, Matt, would say, Zulu warriors. We need Zulu warriors up in here. Ola, let's hear you, man. Let's hear you, bro.
Ola, right before you go, I agree with the same thing what you were about to say. The man was cut short on games. You can't play a player. You can't play a player that's out of form and then expect him to come in.
One goal.
Yeah. You can't do that.
That's what I literally wanted to challenge.
Wait.
Just
but
now,
it's first season. That's not an excuse. It's first
how much
season.
game time did he get?
31 games with just 5 goals.
Tony,
you can't say that.
He was basically
in and out of the team.
Yeah, he was starting. He was pretty much starting back then.
That's what I'm saying. For Unai Emery, 31 games, 5 goals. It's not good enough. 2021 season, 20 goals in the Premiership, and he scored 1 goal. The proof is in the pudding.
See, for all the folks that watch us and say all y'all do is get along, y'all don't never disagree. Y'all see, this is a classic example of we all see where me and Ola on the same page. See, we don't agree with Tony on everything. Go ahead, Ola. I'm sorry, brother.
No. For me, I just think it's a little bit unfair to put them stats on Pepe, knowing the type of seasons that he had with Arteta. Arteta never really trusted him. He never really gave him a fair shot. Yep. He never really allowed him a sustained amount of time in the team to warrant him to be sharp enough to give you the goal contributions. And the team was bad. It wasn't just him in the team. We had a lot of bad eggs in the team at the time. There was a lot of players that weren't pulling their weight. There was the way they just kept changing defenders on Pepe as well. He didn't know who he was going to play with from week to week. But you need that partnership like what Ben White and Saka had for a sustained period of time to build a relationship and know how each other play. Pepe never had that luxury. So to look at the output and say, oh yeah, it was just poor because of that output, I believe that's killed a little bit. And that's what I want. That's why, because it's not black and white. There's wrinkles to these things, and you got to peel every wrinkle, man, and call it how it is. There's wrinkles to everything, man, and I just think Pepe was not given that fair shot. It was never really given a sustained period of time to look sharp, to look good under Arteta, and I think this heart-to-heart that I'm hearing is having with Arteta, if it's true, personally, I don't feel Arteta is going to follow up on it. Personally, yeah. But again,
history has shown us that. Remember, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. You remember that? Sold him a bill of goods.
Sold him a dream.
Yeah, sold him a dream, man. Sold him a bridge in my garage. Highbury's local badge. Always good to see you, brother. If Arteta has any integrity whatsoever, get me one of your initial targets that can back 20+ goals. Dusan Vlahovic. Get rid of Nketiah. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all know, when you're on my channel, I gotta do it. All right,
least favorite song.
If you're on my channel, you're gonna hear it. And bring back Balogun. Please, for God's sake, bring back Balogun and make Jesus a winger. It's so simple. I really think, man, if and Tony, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. I really think that you bring back Pepe. You bring back Balogun. So now you got two. You got covered. You got it. Go back. Oh, what you said. We've got not a big drop off if somebody gets hurt, or we need to change something up in some of these cup games where we can go. Okay, you can bring in some players that it ain't like last year when we go to Sporting Lisbon and we go there and the drop off is way down the toilet. You got to go bring on players that are supposed to be off, and here they got to come in and bail us out of a game. You know, we have got to go get a striker. And I'm sure we'll get to the elephant in the room last because there's no need even talking about that now. But we're going to talk about striker options towards the end of the show. But we have got to get a 20+ goal striker. We got to get it. It has to be done. It has to be done. Always good to see you, brother. Let me put up one. I had another one here. I had start. Let me see, where is it at here? I think it was Arsenal Forever says Arteta needs to know and understand how to utilize players for their strengths and switch up the style of play. Also learn more about man management to players and game management. This is exactly what we need to see this year.
Arsenal this is Forever. You couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, this is it. This is what this season is all about. We watched it crumble there at the end of last season, 248 days at the top. When it was time to move stuff around, he was still trying to force a square peg into a circle, and we saw what happened. We capitulated. This season, and like I said, we're going to see immediately because the eighth game of this season is City. And let me tell you, if you want the best way to get upset City is to take points off of them early. Do it in the early part of the season, so that way you're not putting all that stress on yourself at the end of the season. Because if you go back to last season, we had a couple of games there in the first half of the season. We did United and City, United, and it was somebody else. I think it was Southampton. Had we done what we were supposed to do in those games, we having a completely different discussion. Because the room of error is, as we've seen over the last few years, gentlemen, the room of error in the Premier League is not down to you drop a couple of games and you're pretty much out of it, you know. And
Matt as well. I mean, we got the curtain raiser with Man City at Wembley just before the season starts in the Community Shield. So we're gonna have a little taste of what's to come in that 8th game of the season that you're talking about. And I want to see intent. I want to see aggression. The same thing I've been calling for in the transfer window was aggression in the market. We've shown that over the last couple of weeks that the window's been open. I've been pleasantly surprised. Is the right word to use to see the way Arsenal are moving in the wind, and it's something the fans have called for so many times. So many times. Just get the deal over the line. And me and you, we've spoken about this, Matt, so many times. Big up Tony Ibarra. Salute
Tony Ibarra.
We've said this so many times. In terms of how we got to get big deals over the line. Yeah, the 50 million deals, the 40 million deals. Yeah, they're okay to do. Edu, every Dick and Harry who are for sporting director can pull off a 40 million. Get me that 100 million deal. Get me that 120 million deal. Sign me these marquee players, our number one targets that we actually set out to go and get. Start showing me that you can get these big marquee players over the line. And this is the first one with Declan Rice, where he's our number one target, and we've actually gone in and made it happen. And this, I want to see this. I don't want to say as a fluke. I want to, I don't want to say as a fluke, like a one-time and done thing, one pump and dump. No. That's not what I'm looking
for. 105 million is no fluke, my brother. 105 million.
Baby.
Bro. You know what I mean? I want to be seeing that one pump and dump. I need consistency of this caliber. Every goddamn window.
Yeah, every window.
Every goddamn window. I want. You know what I mean? We need to start moving like a big club, and it doesn't just go with with incomings. It's got to be with outgoings as well. We got to start selling players for good amount of money, substantial amount of money, because I see players that ain't even worth some of the international level and the exposure and the games and caps that some of our players have got, and they go for big money with other clubs, and we sell them for nothing, for peanuts over here at Arsenal. I want to see those times gone. So it's not just for incomings. It's that energy has got to be shown for outgoing players as well, and getting big money for our players too.
You know, that's one of the things that I stated.
I'm sorry, man.
Go ahead, brother.
Man,
go ahead.
I would like to come in here. Yeah. Spending big time money doesn't resonate or translate into success. Go ask our, brothers across the line in Chelsea, yeah, and ask them about that. Yeah, they will tell you about that. Yeah, they're a big example of that. But what really matters is going into the market, yeah, with a transfer plan and going and getting the right quality players to bring in. Now, look at Manchester City.
Quality player costs money, bro.
Yeah, of course, that's what I'm saying. Good, they cost money, but good. Now, look at the blueprint in which Manchester City have already set. Yeah, just look at that blueprint. Manchester City did not spend the type of money that Chelsea spent last season. Manchester City, for the past 2-3 seasons, haven't even spent what Arsenal have spent in the transfer window. So it's not about putting up the cash. Arsenal have put up the cash. We've spent, with the tally right now, Mikel Arteta will be getting up to £700 million spent in just 3-4 seasons. But Manchester City, yeah, over the years now, they've not even spent even up to that at all. So they're bringing out a more sustainable way on how to sign players and making sure that the players they're bringing in are quality players, so they don't have to go spend in the next 2 years. In fact, if you're a team and you always have to spend 200, 300 million every year, then you're a failed team. You're a failed team, because Manchester City haven't spent up to 300 million in this transfer window. Even last season, they didn't even spend up to 200. That's how bad it is. And mind you, these guys have been winning trophies for the past at least 5-6 seasons, and they've been winning the Premier League, but they've not been spending that huge amount of money. So it's not about putting up the cash. Cronkies have been putting up the cash, but have that cash been used to buy quality players, great players, centurions into the team? And the answer is no. We've not spent money in the right places. And I think this is what we have to start talking about. Not just spending money, but spending money in the right places. Just like we talked about Kai Havertz. Is that the right signing for Arsenal? I'm willing to give Kai Havertz a chance, yeah, because he's coming into a new team. Maybe Chelsea Football Club was a bad football club for him to actually play for in the past years. So I'm willing to give him a chance. He's an Arsenal player. No problem. He has to start posting up those numbers. But again, you have to look at it for the reality that it's set. Is £65 million the kind of money you would go and use to buy a big pop player like Kai Havertz right now? And the answer is it's no. It's not the best we could get out there. So are we spending our transfer budget on quality players, or are we gambling? Because right now that Kai Havertz, because he's not coming because of his numbers he's gotten at Chelsea Football Club. So it's purely a gamble. So are we gambling right? Well, the question needs to be answered. Is it by you or me? No, it's by next season. It's coming. So those questions need to be answered. Have Arsenal spent their transfer budget on players that will improve the team? Let's see. For Timber, who's coming in, we might talk about that later. Timber, yes. The other guy coming in, Declan Rice, yes. Question marks, and the jury is out on Kai Havertz, right? But are we spending? Did we spend up to nearly 70 million euros in the right place? That question can be answered. Matt, if you want to answer that question, brother, try, man. Try.
Sorry, I'm on mute. In that sense, brother, I think you're right, because it goes back to what we initially stated when we started the show, is that if you're spending that money, and I feel like you could go buy exactly what the player that specializes in that is the player you need to get. If we lose Partey, for God's sake, I hope he don't leave. If he does leave, then we need to buy a specialist, a defensive midfielder that is a specialist as a defensive midfielder. I don't want somebody going in there that we're going to just experiment because they can fill a gap in right there for 5 games. No, I need a player that is consistent, that's what they specialize in. It's okay, this whole inverted deal, you can get away with it 1 or 2 times, but you know what happens? The Premier League works. What happens is you'll fool a couple of people for about 7-8 games, and then somebody is going to say, you know what? I'm putting an end to this. And then they're going to zero right in like they did on Zinchenko this year. That was going smooth as silk until the second half of the season when everybody realized, oh, well, as soon as you see Zinchenko up there, shoot the gap. Go right to his spot. Bam. And we were getting hammered over and over and over. My thing is that the money that we're spending, this is twofold. Olaf, to back you up. If we're spending, we saw it this week. And we're going to get to him in just a second. He's next. $105 million. I don't want to hear anything else going forward about we don't have any money. I do not want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If there is a quality player in the market, keyword what I said, quality player, not just quantity. I'm a quality man. I like the finer things in life, you like going. Hey, you go. When I go to the store, I like to buy some Tom Ford cologne every once in a while. A little bit of baccarat. When I go buy some cologne, if you know, you know. So I like to splash the cash a little bit. Get you some quality in the team. Yeah, look at what all is sipping on some of that yak. You get some quality, man. Get some quality stuff there, man. You don't want to just be going out
some expensive shit. Some expensive shit.
You want to get you something, you feel good about yourself,
man, get that feel-good factor going,
every once in a while when you buy Arsenal kit, you say, you know what, I want the authentic kit every once in a while, So when we going out into this market, if there's a player out there and we can afford that player and that player comes in and upgrades us, then we need to get that player. It's no different than what City's been doing. Look at when City goes and get a player like Rodri. They go out and get a quality. Look at what's my fella that signed for him this week that played for Chelsea. Now you talk about going out and buying Chelsea player quality. They went out and got a quality player and put him in the team because they lost a quality player. We can't, when we lose quality, we have to go get quality. We can't be going out talking about getting Kivior and a bunch of Kiviors and then hoping they come good. No. Go get what you need, the quality, and then you can compete, And this 105 million is now the standard, people. When we talk about raising the standards, when we raise hell all year long over there on Lee's channel and on Tony's channel, and we sit there and we talk about raising the standard, this is what the standard is. See, this is why it's like so many people got thrown. Oh, man, 105. I can't believe. We've been telling y'all the money been there for the last 4 years. We've been telling y'all this, that the money's there. People say, well, I still don't have any money. Yes, we do. It's how we spend the money. This is why Tony is on his head about this $65 million deal. Did we get the best out of that $70 million that we spent? That's the question that's going to be asked. We're going to find out soon. We're going to find out that was that a good piece of business or was that a bad thing? We will find that out. We will find that out. CJ says this window so far has been a 6 out of 10. For me, we still need a winger, striker, and another midfielder. I agree. Right now, it's a 6 out of 10. The elephant in the room. Let's go ahead and get to the elephant in the room, gentlemen. The elephant in the room is this. Declan Rice, almost there. West Ham and also progressing in talks to agree a payment term structure deal. It's really finally close now. Fabrizio, man, this sensationalism is. Let me tell y'all something, man. The British media, the media over Europe, man, y'all, the sensationalism, bro. I mean, they got to sell it, bro. It is almost here, $105 million package. Fee agreed 2 days. Of course, we already know. So we already know he's in the pot, gentlemen. What do you think of this signing, Tony? I'm going to start with you on this one, brother.
See, yeah, this particular victory, it tastes good. Do you know what makes this particular victory taste better? Yeah, I can see all laughing down there. Yeah, what makes this victory taste better? Yeah, see, bullying the bully out of this transfer saga. Yeah, bullying Manchester City. Yeah, choking them on their necks. Yeah, throwing them off the roof. Yeah, getting the girl for yourself and making love to her. Come on, man.
Oh my
See,
God.
this is what dreams are made of. And again, Matt and Ola have already talked about this. This should be the standard that this football club should be rolling with now. This is how we should roll in the transfer window. It's how we should roll. This is it. Going for our main target in Declan Rice, throwing out a bid, 1-2 bids, and then we see that Manchester City came in, throwing that cheeky 90 million bid. And you know what? Yeah, I really do think that Manchester City, yeah, for all those people who were saying that, oh, Manchester City never needed him, they have Rodri. Well, think again. Ike Godwin just left the football club. There's rumors that Bernardo Silva is leaving the football club also. Yeah, these guys are all leaving the football club. So they needed a replacement. And mind you, Declan Rice might be looked upon as a 6, yeah, like a main core CDM. But mind you, he's also a very, very versatile player. He could play across the midfield anyhow you want him. If you want him to play as a box-to-box kind of midfielder, you got it. If you want him to sit back with 2 pivoted midfielders, he would sit back and just allow those guys just push forward. If you want him to go a little bit up the notch, just a little bit in a box-to-box kind of role, he can give that to you. We've seen it time and time with that number. He has a very, very great shot in his foot. He could lay those passes, could play corners. This guy is a vocal guy, one of the most vocal English players I've ever seen in my goddamn life. You know what? Yeah, next season, if our so-called captain we have right now isn't careful, this Englishman might just be the man for that captaincy. He's a vocal guy. He could play corner kicks. He could play free kicks. He could bring other players into the game. He's a very vocal guy. He could sit at that CDM role. He could multitask into different formations in the midfield. That's the kind of guy Arsenal just went into the market to go get right now. And you know what? For £105 million, not only that, putting hot water on Manchester City, blowing up their faces, yeah, with that chicken bid they went down there to give to us. We bullied them out of the market. See, I'm so happy because Ola, when was the last time that Arsenal went for all these targets that we were in disgraced out of a bidding war? Arsenal, go check the history. Arsenal always back out from any bidding war. We lose all our bidding wars in the transfer window. This represents a shift in that direction. If this represents, and we're evolving, we're changing right now. This is the standard. This is what I want to see. Arsenal changing our ways in the transfer window, gaining the respect once again from these negotiators, because Arsenal negotiators, Matt, me and you have talked about this, our transfer business, we have shitty negotiators down there, yeah? But this can at least redeem our image, in the world of negotiators, because these guys, they don't take it serious. They look, when Arsenal comes into the room to kind of like make these negotiations and big business, we're being mocked. We're mocked out of the yard. They look at us like clowns, big clowns, yeah? No respect. They don't pay any attention to us. And that's why we've lost even 50-50 battles when it comes to a bidding war. Yeah? If I say the mind of everyone in the chat or in the panel here, please let me know. We'll be mocked. Arsenal is the most mocked team. And we have the most mocked negotiators in the game. But this represents a change. This represents an evolving team in the transfer window. So kudos to whoever are doing those negotiations. I don't think it's Edu, because this is too drastic for Edu. Sorry, man, because I've looked at Edu's, I've seen his past dealings. It's not him. I'm sorry, man. Someone had to come in there and do the job, This is not what Edu does normally. There was a change somehow. They got
Wenger over there. They got Wenger over there on retainer. Wenger over there on retainer over there doing contract work.
Doing good job work. You never know.
You never know, man. Masterson says you have to remember that City also pay top dollar for their cream of the crop backroom staff and train in the most expensive training facilities with everything a player needs. I think it was Warren, either Jez brought up about the train. No, it's Kenny that brought up about the training facilities. Those are major things that people have to take into an account. One other thing too, we need to look at this training, the way our players are getting hurt. Now Declan Rice, got knock on some wood right now, but has had a very good injury record. Very good injury record. Thomas Partey had a very good injury record until he came to Arsenal. For God's sake, I hope he comes over here and he's able to stay healthy and get through this season, because 105, we talk about Kai Havertz and a lot of money. 105, that's nothing to sneeze at, man. That's what you call an investment. That is an investment, and we need Brother Rice to come good on this investment, which I think he will. But it's a fact of he needs to remain healthy. All of our players need to remain healthy. You start seeing players getting injured in training, you got to start asking some questions like, okay, well, what's going on here? So this is a good point about the investment in the backroom staff. That's something that doesn't get looked at a lot when it comes to investing into a personnel. He circles back around and says, not just investing in personnel, but also running things in the background. Just like the everyday workings of the club. Ola, your thoughts on
Declan down there? One put a very important comment down there. He said overpaying is not good negotiating. Could you go to that comment, please?
Let me see, where is it at here? I'm a little behind here. Oh, yeah, I see it right there. There you go. I see it.
Yeah. Overpaying is not good negotiating.
I think you have to overpay.
Man, that's the market we see now. People see when you go to get even an average decent player, that's the price they tell you. So what you just said now, it's good for laughs, but after the laugh, you have to negotiate with these people. If Bukayo Saka is leaving the football club, how much do you think we're going to place on his head? About 120, 130. That's what you place on his head. Is it what that for me? No. Is what about 80, 90? Yeah, in the normal market. So when you're negotiating in this type of overinflated market, I'm sorry, you have to pay top dollar for better players. And I'm sorry, man. It's good for laughs when you put it overpaying. It's not good negotiating. Good, I understand that. But I'm sorry, man. You have to come to the reality. This is the transfer window as we see it. Sometimes
you're going to have to overpay to get what you want. Sometimes you have to do. That's a fact of life. Sometimes you're going to have to. That is a life rule. You're going to have to overpay every once in a while if you want the product. Y'all remember when toilet tissue during the pandemic? Folks were overpaying for toilet tissue. Y'all remember that? Folks that was the biggest thing. Toilet tissue. It's $40 a roll. Oh shit! I got to have toilet tissue, so I guess I got to pay it. You got to have it. So in this case, Declan Rice was 105. Do we all think he was worth 105 million? In a perfect world, we probably say 75, 85. 60, right? That's 60, 85. Give or take, however you want to look at it. But we realize that this is a player that we had earmarked. Let's go out. We're going, Tony. We said we bring this up once a week. All the way back to January, we knew we wanted the player. Now, Tony. The funny thing is that me and you both said pay the money back in January, and what did we just do? We paid the same amount that me and you were sitting there.
Classical Arsenal.
All of the same. They did not move. They asked for this amount way back in January. Arsenal haggled, as we always say, haggled all the way through. And then guess what the Arsenal ended up doing? Paying the same damn amount that they asked for originally. This is why I say when people tell you the price, stop the money up and just move on, and then move on to something else, because you waste all your time lollygagging. So just imagine how we just went ahead, paid the amount, loaned them back to West Ham. You probably could have got the Salcedo deal done as well. But instead, when we negotiate a deal like this, it takes Arsenal forever because they're sitting there trying to negotiate a massive deal. Look at the Timber deal, and we'll come to him in just a second. Timber, you heard about it last week. He's signing this week. That's what I want to hear. That's how you move. I hear about it, and then he's here. That's what I want, and that's that. We have got to start moving like that, man. But yeah, as far as overpaying, sometimes you have to overpay to get what you want. You have to. You just have to. I'm not saying I expect them to go out of
the world we live in now. It's changed.
Chelsea, when they bought all those players a couple years ago, completely overinflated the market. And it is just like you said, it is what it is. I mean, look at Ola. Me and you the same age. You remember back in the day, do you know what you could have got for $100 million?
Oh my God.
10 years ago or 15 years ago, you know who you could have got for a player? You paying $100 million? You can name them. Name them all. Zlatan, Cristiano Ronaldo. You talking time players.
Top level players.
Take it away, brother.
Just talking about Rice and the importance of signing him. Number one, out of the
hold on a second. I'm sorry to cut you. I want to bring this up. I just saw this comment. No, we know he wasn't available in January. He said he didn't listen to what I said. I said, pay the money, loan him back to West Ham. Then when the season ends, he's an Arsenal player. That's simple. We know he wasn't available in January, but they gave us the price already. They had already told us what they wanted for him. They said we want at that time was it 90 million or something on that line? That we want the player. This is what we want for the player. Arsenal said, okay, well, we'll just check back in with y'all. No, they should just say cut the check and then wait until the end of the season.
Liverpool did it with Naby Keita. They did that with Keita.
Sorry about that, Ola.
With Naby Keita.
Go ahead, Ola. I'm sorry.
So for me with Rice, it's just one of these players that when you look at the English players that that everybody was trying to sign, that was going for the big money. It was all about Bellingham and Rice. It was just about those two guys, right? And I know rival fans and they might want to, shit on a parade a little bit in terms of acquiring the signing, but those were the two most coveted midfielders in the country as far as English midfielders go. Bellingham ended up at Real Madrid, 100 million. We got the other one. We got the other guy. Just let that sink in. I can't remember the last time when the most coveted players in the league or in English football, as you say. I can't remember the last time.
Sol Campbell.
That's good. Look how far back we're going.
Yeah.
Where Arsenal has actually made a move for a player of that caliber, that's that coveted, and actually secured him. It's been a long time, and
maybe Mesut Ozil. Maybe Mesut Ozil.
No. He said English. He said English.
I say English players.
English player.
Oh, English. Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm talking like proper. I'm talking like the likes of Wayne Rooney. Big coveted players that go on to the Rio Ferdinands of this world. That's part through the English game. We haven't been at the table to be able to secure such players. Maybe we'll get them young people like Theo Walcott and Jack Wilshere and all of those guys. But I'm talking about really going to secure one that's ready-made, ready to go. There's one of two. There's one of two. Bellingham is one. Rice was the other. Bellingham and the Liverpool wanted Bellingham. I was hearing about United wanting, but they've been courting Bellingham for a long time. Chelsea's been courting Rice for a long time. United been courting Rice for a long time. Even City came to the table to have a sniff to see what all the fuss is about. All this Bayern wanted.
Yep.
They wanted Rice. I mean, the list goes on. But we signed him. He's our player. And to me, that just, it takes how we're viewed, how we're perceived, because that's a really, really important thing when you're a football club. It takes how you're seen, how you're perceived, and the way you're respected in the market it shifts it
in the
shifts it
market.
to another level.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not really going to sit down here and say, oh yeah, we bullied Man City out of that deal or whatever. If they really wanted to and make life difficult for us, they would. You know what I mean? If they really wanted to. So I'm not going to really sit down here. They just came to see what the fuss was all about. Oh yeah, okay.
That's
you know what I mean? Let me get a whiff.
But if reverse was the case, we'll all be abusing Arsenal. No. I want us to give Arsenal the props where they deserve to get it.
I'm not taking the props away from Arsenal, but I'm also not saying.
If the roles were turned, we'll all abuse Arsenal and say, "Oh, they fumbled with this signing."
But I'm like I said,
let's call it what it is.
I'm not here to take the credit away from Arsenal, but I'm not also ready to say City was bullied out of that deal. Is what I'm trying to say, because we all know if City if they want a player, generally they get that player, and if they don't,
but they play 90 million,
and when they don't want a player, they just simply walk away from deals. We've seen it time and time again.
So when you walk away,
the way they do business now is a lot more balanced than how they used to do business. They and look at their squad. We will sit there and watch their bench over the last 2-3 seasons. You look at City's bench, and every time a player is coming off another player, I'm there saying this ain't fair. How is this even allowed to happen? How have we got here that City can literally take off this player and put that player on, and they can do it 5 times and literally wouldn't change the quality? But they've been like that. They've had to pay a lot to get to that point where they don't need to do it no more. It's like being a fucking estrogen head, you know, or fucking steroid user. You go to the gym all the time, you get big to the point where, you know what? Let me put that steroids down now and just maintain now with my natural strength, and let me see what people really say. That's what City is.
Yeah.
They use the propane to get there first, and now they're just using solar panels now. You know what I'm trying to say? But before
they're going green. They're going green.
They're going green now, you know what I mean? But before, the propane they were using to get there, it was crazy. So let's not just, like give City all the the props for how they got to where they are now. And we know there was some cheating involved. We've seen the documentary. It got released yesterday, day before, with all the paperwork that that we're talking about City. But that's a different conversation here. So Rice for me represents a big move from Arsenal to really show people all across the world, leagues across the world, that we're here to start eating at the top table again. We was a big club that was free falling. I used to say we were falling without parachute. You know what I mean? It's like, and we were trapped in it for so long and just free falling. But now I think we've let off that parachute and we're back in, and we're trying to balance up now. It's going to take a while, but we're on the right track. We're on the way there with the sort of signings that I mean, just think about it. 5 seasons ago, we'd be linked with these sort of top players, and you'd laugh and say, "There's no way Arsenal's nowhere else." But now with this sort of signing, like I said, I don't want it to be a one pump and dump. I don't want it to be a fluke situation. I want this on a regular basis, and I'm not saying every season go and buy me a 200 million pound player. Every season go and buy me. But if there's a marquee player that could be another crown jewel in our team, go and get them if they're available. Be at that table when they're talking about it. When they're talking about big players, I want to hear Arsenal be linked, and people actually respect the fact that Arsenal is linked with this player and have a genuine chance of that deal going through. This is the first time we're really experiencing this in a long time.
And
now we're back here again. I don't want it to feel like a fluke. I want this sort of thing to keep going on.
So, Tony, Ola, y'all remember the old you remember the old Nike commercial, man? I don't know if y'all can remember this far back. It probably was like 2009, 2010, and they were playing, and then all of a sudden the player looked over, and Arsene Wenger was over there scouting him. that was the feeling of like, okay, well, we getting quality play, you quality players and stuff like that, man. This deal for me. And y'all know I am critical. I am critical of Arsenal. Y'all know that. Anybody who watches this know I am very critical. This for me was a breath of fresh air. That's the best way I can explain it. A breath of fresh air. I don't care how we got the player. I told y'all I don't care how we got $100 million. We wanted Declan Rice. You cannot. We know this. We have watched January all the way up to now. We know we wanted Declan Rice. And technically we wanted Salcedo. That's a different discussion. But we were in for this man. We needed to get that over the line. Because if we had not got over the line, Tony's correct. I would have came on here. Y'all know I would have brought the hammer.
Yeah,
I would have brought it. I would have brought the hammer. Yeah, because it'd been ridiculous. But this also goes to show that if you do what you're supposed to do, you'll be rewarded later on. All this overpaying talk. Let us win 2 trophies next year. Let us win a trophy next year, and then come back and ask me, did we overpay?
Nobody would care about that.
Yeah, nobody would care. Success stops all that, man, and that's what we're here for. This is why I said these type of deals will set the precedent for other players. Because for all this talk now, other players talk now. People they look at the newspapers. Arsenal's 105 million for Declan Rice. Declan Rice. This shows to me, and this is why it goes another point that you made, Ola. If you're out there and you got a little money, a little money to splash, and there's a certain Kylian Mbappe out there, and you offloading a couple of players, you get 65 or 75 million for a player, and they say, well, we want 120 for Kylian Mbappe. Wait a minute, not 75 million. I think we might be able to go look in the savings account right quick and let's see. Can we cut this check on escrow and see if we can bring or put a bid in? Can we put Tony, escrow? Can we put
escrow, bro? Man, I love this show today. I've been blessed.
Hey man, can we cut a check? Because see, there's opportunity. You put yourselves at the table of opportunity when you spend big. You may not get the player, but you have an opportunity to go in for the player.
Yeah.
How many years have we never even been in? We couldn't even sit down at the table with some of these players.
This is it.
And even talk. Have a discussion.
Yeah, have a discussion.
Have a talk.
Yes. This is why.
Because nobody took us seriously.
Yeah.
No, exactly. People clowned everywhere.
Yeah, we were laughed at. I told y'all. I said when Arsenal walk in the room, people would start laughing, and Arsenal would think people were laughing with them. No, they were laughing at them. Yeah, 40+1, all that stuff. People took us as a joke. Haggling. So, now to get this deal over the line, we're going to hop over to the other deal right here. Today. Here we go. Jurrien Timber set for Arsenal Medical. 40 million pounds agreed with Ajax. For those who don't know, Tony knows it. I watch Ajax when I'm not watching Arsenal. This is a quality player. He's good. He has a few things he needs to work on, but this is good. Let me actually tell y'all like this. This is a hell of an upgrade on Rod Holding. Let me tell y'all. This is a hell of an upgrade. Whatever he makes up for everything that was wrong with Rod Holding. Everything that was wrong with him. This is an upgrade. I'm telling y'all, this is an upgrade. This is a major upgrade. This is a cool signing. This is a signing right here. This is what I like to see. Under the radar signings. Wait, like Tony, we talked about this last week. You don't hear a whole 7 months worth of, hey, we linked to this guy, Then Chelsea comes in, boom, out. Tony, this one's yours, brother. Timber, we get ready to chop this wood. The wood is getting ready to get chopped. We got him here at the Emirates, brother. Speak on it.
This signing, it marks one of the most marquee signings Arsenal will be getting this summer, This guy can play at any position in the defensive setup. We now have someone who would truly and genuinely challenge Gabriel. Mind you, last season, Gabriel was a good defender, central defender for us, but it was at the back end of some very atrocious defending last season, This guy is everything everything that will come and correct those problems we had in central midfield. And you know what? Yeah, we're not just only getting you. Of course, you know your coach. Yeah, I might not really like the way he do things sometimes, but sometimes he gets something spot on. Yeah, he loves players that are very, very versatile, multi-dimensional. In this case, I'm talking of White, our right back. Yeah, this guy, Jurrien Timber, is a great guy coming from the right. He plays right back, see, in a tremendous way. And again, listen to the big catch. Just like Zinchenko is playing in a kind of inverted role. See, don't blame me, blame the messenger, yeah? Pep Guardiola, that's how he plays. He plays with inverted defenders. And of course, Mikel Arteta learned from Pep Guardiola. So, in other words, he tries to play with this, inverted defenders. And that's what Jurrien can actually bring to the team. It could just do away with White, or allow White come from the bench, move Timber down to the right as a right back to support Saka. And mind you, he has lightning pace, good and tricky with the legs. He's that good. Yeah. And see here, guys, and this is why your negotiators have to be taken seriously. While Arsenal was going for Jurrien Timber, we were in a big scrap with Manchester City. Yeah, forget Manchester City, but we're in a big scrap with West Ham. They were, in that at that spot where they had to reject some Arsenal offers. But Ajax of Amsterdam were seeing those figures being called. Yeah, they knew Arsenal had the money. They had the chance to prop up this transfer, throw it up to the ceiling, bring in a bidding war, and that's why you have to move in silence. Arsenal went into this transfer, yeah, and Ajax knows that Arsenal is negotiating that big deal for Declan Rice. They're hearing the figures being called, but again, Arsenal, looked upon as the front runners for that deal, they look serious. They knew that Arsenal were very serious when they came in for Timber. They know that Arsenal is not just coming to just bid and run away. They know that Arsenal were genuine contenders in this bidding war with themselves, actually, for Jurrien Timber, and they paid the money. And see here, guys, it's coming for a medical. I respect this player. It's a massive, massive upgrade to Rob Holding. Anyone who knows me, anyone who knows my channel, know I've campaigned for Arsenal to throw away Rob Holding, even for free, even to Luton or all these second championship clubs, because he doesn't want to leave the football club. So this guy represents that guy that can come in and change things. I love this guy. Marquee signing. And Arsenal is getting this guy with that much fuzz in the transfer window. Can you believe this, Orlan, man? Top player. Can't wait to see this guy.
Yeah. Timber is a player that I know United has been linked with for a long time. Because Ten Hag, definitely wanted this guy, him and Martinez was doing that good work. We went in for Martinez last season. We weren't able to get him, but we've secured the services of Jurrien Timber, and I just hope that it works out good for us. Because when you look at Chelsea, when we went and got Saliba, they went and got Saliba's partner in Fofana, and they paid 80 million for him. That shit still makes me laugh. they paid damn near 80 million for Fofana, and I think he went to Leicester first. Didn't he go to Leicester first? Then Chelsea got him from Leicester. I think that's how it happened.
Yeah.
So we've secured the services of Jurrien Timber. Is about to as the reports are showing, he's going to be having a medical with us. This brings me back to that question. Big up the assembled. I saw a question that I posted up earlier on. He said, Ola, do you believe that Arsenal have addressed the CM problem if they sell Partey and sign no replacement and retain Xhaka? Now,
big question.
I feel that problem could be slightly solved with a little bit of shifting around. If Arteta is open, I'm not a manager. I'm not a football manager like that. I don't get paid all those millions of pounds that Arteta get paid to get the results. But just talking from trying to answer your question kind of base. I would say if you move Zinchenko to the middle of the park, because it's never playing left back anyways. It's never really there. Move him to the center of the park. It's an extra hand in midfield. He can actually do most of the things that Xhaka can do in terms of finding passes, making runs, and doing all of that good stuff offensively. He can actually do that. So move Zinchenko to the midfield. So we got that extra midfielder there. Timber can then deputize. Maybe keep Tierney to keep that competition. That passion and competition moving in the team. Maybe keep Tierney there for leadership as well. But Timber can actually support that space. It can do that job. It can do it well across the back four. We're talking right back, left back. We're talking center back position. It can do it all.
Even defensive midfield, he can do that actually. With what I saw and what I heard,
and you man know how me and Lee we go back and forth about Tomiyasu, prime Tommy on fruit shoe. you man know about that. But this guy could even be an upgrade on Tomiyasu, and Tomiyasu is a player that we know can cover a lot of positions across the back four as well, and do a job at least do a job. But we need more than a job this time, and that's why we're going out for a player like Timber. So if we not saying sell Zinchenko, but actually moving to midfield, because look at Liverpool, they've now conceded that Trent can't play right back.
Yeah,
they're not going to get rid of him because they know the quality that he has offensively. They're going to move him to midfield. We could do the same thing with Zinchenko, move him to midfield, and he can do those jobs where we're not really missing Xhaka, where we're not really missing defensively, maybe a Partey role, but do that in midfield where he still got covers of like people like Saliba and Gabriel and Ben White and whoever else that we're going to have in defense actually covering him from those situations. And Zinchenko can actually do what he does best offensively, but doing it from midfield. That's my position on it. But the manager has the final decision on Timber. I'm happy with the signing. Is a signing that pushes us forward. Is a signing that is going to be.
I'm not an heterosexual, bro. No, I don't, man.
Far from it, man. Far from it. Yeah, I think this Timber deal, man. I think this is probably one of the best under radar type of signings. These are the kind of signings you get excited. It's the small things that get me excited. This kind of stuff right here really gets me excited because this is a guy who I know for a fact is a solid defender. Like I said, he's got a few problem areas. His timing and some tackles need to be worked on. He gets a little bit of over aggressive at times, but for the most part, he gets the bill done. And these are the type of signings because this was the thing last year. We just lacked players that could come in and do the right job. You had Kivior bending over tying shoes. You had Holden pulling out of aerial duels, challenges, and that kind of stuff down the stretch does not work. So you have to go out, splash the cash, you get quality players, you enhance the team. Now, let's say in a perfect world, we hang on to Tierney, which there's rumor that he's going to hang around this year, which is great if he does. Tierney hangs around. You've got Gabriel. You got Saliba, who has gotten over that back issue. You've got Ben White, who comes back in and plays like he did last year. You've got Tomiyasu coming back from injury. He doesn't have to be rushed back now. He doesn't have to be flying him back from injury. You've got this fella here in. Now we've got the back line is starting to shape up a little bit. We're starting to get some spots.
It's not enough for me, man. It's not enough for me. I'm sorry. Sorry to cut across you there, man.
No problem, brother.
The one position for me, I've seen a lot of people talk about, oh yeah, let's go and get that player, that position, that play. Nobody is talking about the goalkeeping position.
Oh man,
I totally forgot about that. No, I've been calling out Ramsdale and his bullshit for donkeys. Like it's one guy that it's like nobody is really calling. He needs that competition, man. You know what I mean?
You brought up you brought up a good point. I forgot about goalkeeper. I completely forgot about the goalkeeper. Let me say this: if one thing I want Ramsdale doing right today, he should be doing it as I'm talking right now. If you listening to this, hey Ramsdale, you listening to me? This is what you need to be doing. Go in your backyard and sit and put you a line on the ground, and you need to work on penalty kick stopping from here out, because that's what worries me the most about this guy. That and his lapses, because he has mental. Man, it was a couple of games last year, Ola. I looked at him and said, "What the hell are you doing?" You know, it just he kind of gets into this over macho thing where he feels like, oh, I can move since I can play with the ball at my feet, I can buy some time, and ends up putting himself in trouble. And then he needs to work on his penalty kick stopping. The man 5 spoiled Lisbon. They blew him right past the 1, 2, 3, 4. Wasn't even close to stopping any. We've seen that. That's That's one of his biggest weaknesses. And I'm telling you, I watched United States soccer. I watched us the other night, football, because I knew somebody go, oh my God, he said soccer, football. I watched us the other night. Matt Turner is 29 years old, and it looks like he just started playing ball. Matt Turner is not the backup. He's not the backup. We
want to be confident if Ramsdale got injured for a sustained period of time and Matt Turner is always hot.
Matt Turner ain't it, bro. I'm telling you now. Matt Turner ain't it, man. Ain't it. We used to carry 3 goalkeepers at one time. Where but then we had Runnison, man. I mean, we know Runnison ain't it. But I think we got a brother that's the third goalkeeper. Now I can't think of his name. Now I think we got a brother that's the third goalkeeper. But we have that's what's his name? Ola.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we need at least a Martinez level sort of goalkeeper.
Yeah,
as a not even a backup, but a competent competition in case something happens to one drops.
I mean that's fact. That's fact. You should have a player, and this goes back to this to discussion we had before. Is that we've had this discussion before? Excuse me. Is that every player should have their position challenged by another player. Nobody should be comfortable. Your job, you should be able to get I'll tell you what, man, Ramsdale's out of form. Okay, well, we're going to drop it down to the next guy, next man up. Martinez, like you said, Martinez brought that on. I really hate we let him go, because we probably on another level with him. Yeah. You can't find.
Exactly. We let him go and he became a world champion.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
Yeah. So we definitely need a cover at that position. Now, I'm glad you brought it up, Ola, because I forget that every time we talk, bring up about the goalkeeper. Go ahead, Ola.
I'm sorry, Matt, I need to get this in. Yeah, I need to get this in. Yeah, please. There are two things that I'm still bothered here about our gameplay and about Arsenal per se. Last season, at the end of last season's game, this player called Granit Xhaka, somehow he said his goodbyes in some ways, I know in some ways, they clapped him off, they did 1 or 2 things, and stuff like that. Granit Xhaka is still at the football club. We heard that towards the end of the season, we heard that he was to go to Bayer Leverkusen. He's not out of the football club yet. Those rumors linking him out of the football club have dried up all across the board in British newspapers. No one is hearing about it. I'm thinking that Granit Xhaka might actually be staying at this football club. And for me, that's one fearful thing, that Granit Xhaka will be in this football club next season. It sends shivers down my spine. That this guy is still going to be there. And secondly, do you guys think that Jurrien Timber, mostly you, Ola, I would like to hear this from you. Do you really think that Jurrien Timber will be the same kind of guy next season, even if he stays? They're saying that he had a good talk out with Mikel Arteta and he's set to stay. I wonder how that happened in the first place. But we know how Mikel Arteta misused him last season. Didn't even care to use him at all. And I feel sorry for the brother. But do you think that would affect Jurrien Timber mentally? Not in the game of play, but mentally. Because even last season, at the tail end of last season, when Mikel Arteta shamefully tried to still use him, we saw a little bit of, match rustiness in him towards the end of the season. So do you think, what do you think about these issues I just raised, Ola?
I mean, look, I've said this about Tierney. The same way I'm applying it to Pepe, because when you say he looked a bit rusty, that comes down to not getting game time. And when your managers is playing players that don't naturally plays in those positions, and they're putting them ahead of you, and that position is your bread and butter, your time at that club is done. And if you're having this heart-to-heart talk, then it's all well and good, but I'm going to start questioning his ambition. Like, bro, what's your real intentions to play football? You can either sit here on the bench and let the manager put people like Tomiyasu in front of you. Tomiyasu don't play no left back. Kieran Tierney is literally there, and you're playing Tomiyasu over him. It's crazy to me. This is somebody that's, albeit is in the Scottish League, but for Celtic, he did wonders for them. He captained them. He led that team to glory time and time again. So it's not like he doesn't know his way around being a good defender, being a good leader, and securing his international caps for Scotland. All of the stuff. These are good qualities that we know about Kieran Tierney. But when he doesn't play, you don't get to see the best of Kieran Tierney when he's allowed to play for 10 minutes, or he starts the next game, then gets dropped the next game, then comes on for the next 5 minutes of the next game. Maybe doesn't really even see the pitch for like 4 games. How do you get the best out of a player with all of that stop-start? It didn't help Pepe. It's not going to help Tierney.
Yeah.
And for me, if he's got any... Now Timber's coming, another one that can probably play in that position. And I bet you my bottom dollar, because it's Arteta signing, he will play him over Tierney. He will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He
no
will.
doubt about it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
So
before you
start thinking about his own football.
Arteta has his fifth right. He has his fifth right. That's for sure.
So the last piece of business on the docket here, and I know you got to scoot. So this won't take long anyway. We all know the elephant, the big rumor we woke up to today. There is no shortage of media space that's not talking about this. Kylian Mbappe.
I saw that in myself when he was laughing hard, man.
Yeah, you saw that blank look in my face. Kylian Mbappe. Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna say this right here on the air. Y'all can cut this if you want. If we sign Kylian Mbappe, I will make a phone call to Lee Gunner, and I will sing for 5 minutes. We have Super Mick Arteta. But we all know that ain't happening, bro. We all know that ain't happening. What in a perfect world? Would I love that? That would be like when we found out we bid it for Luis Suarez, and you was pissed off that we didn't get the shit over the line. I'd be like, it was like, oh, we bid for Suarez and didn't get him. No. With Mbappe, it would be great. I mean, that would be the equivalent of what City did to get Haaland last year. But let's just be real, people. We know that young man is Real Madrid bound. Even though PSG don't want to sell to him, we know that when the Blaugrana has got when they have earmarked you, he'll be it. It'll be a deadline day deal, but he'll be at Real Madrid. So I don't know if either one of y'all two take any stock into this, but I mean that is no.
I'm gonna.
Hey, Ola, you'd have a better chance of finding Jimmy Hoffa before we get Mbappe on this team.
You're absolutely right. I literally do not think for 1 millisecond that we're gonna sign Mbappe. That Wenger's already teased us with this bullshit. Made it look like he was gonna bid for Mbappe. And Do you remember that fake bid we put in? We were never gonna fucking.
They say he was at the house. You know, you heard that rumor. He was at the house. This is what they say.
It was at the house, was the training ground.
Wenger's already tickled my belly with that bullshit, man. I ain't fucking falling for that no more. Look, it's nice. It's nice that our name is even there with it. But look, it's not something that I expect to happen. It's not something that I think is gonna happen. Mbappe is a top level footballer. You know, he's a serious talent, and you know they're just bigger clubs with far more reach, with far more history and ambition of wanting it now, like Real Madrid. You know, if they want him, they're gonna get him, and you know, it's nice to even get our names attached to it. But look, let's be realistic. Let's be real. It ain't happening. You know.
Yeah.
That Thomas Lamar bid. You know what I mean, Tony Ibarra. You know, no. We've seen
Thomas Lamar bid. Yeah. Oh my God, no!
He was in the building.
Are you guys the Suarez bid? The Suarez bid plus one cent or something like that.
Don't forget Cristiano Ronaldo had the kit in his hand. Don't forget Zlatan had it on. You know, we've seen, you know, the streets remember. We remember. So yeah, we know. Tony, your thoughts on this, brother?
Yeah, of course, you know, I follow transfer news quite well. Let's see, I think that's a little bit of a long shot. But come on, man, this is Arsenal. Let's enjoy every attention we get out there.
I already had my thing. I already had my belly tickled. No.
You know how last time we got all this attention in the.
I'm too long in the tooth for all that bullshit.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've been around the sun too many times. You can't fool us.
We get it in the transfer window. Yeah, I'm loving the whole attention we get in the transfer window. But guys, see. This is what makes it a little bit kind of realistic in a way. Just look at this picture, yeah? It says, the report actually says that Kylian Mbappe might likely stay in PSG until next season, yeah? When his contract will actually end. And then Arsenal will want to get him for free. Now, that's it. For free. For free. Don't
fall for the okie doke.
For free. So that was the report.
No.
That was the reports down there, man.
That report was wrong.
Maybe Arsenal is looking at, you know, going to get Kylian Mbappe for free. Let's be realistic. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. But hey, you know what? Yeah, we outbidding Manchester City and paying £105 million for Declan Rice. It sets a different precedent. And who says that? Yeah, we can talk about impossibilities, but you know, if you told an Arsenal fan that will go and bid for Declan Rice for £105 million, I'll tell you crazy. Just as early as last season, yeah, I'll tell you you're mad, yeah. But right now, Arsenal is doing that deal right now. So who says that we could not, you know, swim with the big sharks and get the big time players next season? After all, the money is
leave
there.
The Sharks alone for one fucking
for a while, right?
We'll leave United to have a go at the
let the Sharks be.
No, don't say you leave us. No, don't say that because
right.
I remember
a bigger fish to fry.
No, but Arsenal want but see, see. If we want to be a big football club once again, because we were once there and we're still a big football club, if we want to get back to that setting, we have to swim with the big sharks. We have to go there and outbid these big sharks. Because whether we like it or not, Kylian Mbappe is a player that if he goes to any other team, he will make that team rich. He will make that team genuine title contenders. So why can Arsenal, a big club like us, why can't we just at least throw your heart into it? You know that you won't get him. Now, many teams know that they won't get a player. But I want to see Arsenal, at least.
Like I said, it's nice to be attached to it.
Our name should be there. That we went head-to-head with these teams to go get this player. Show some freaking ambition. That's what I want to see. And if it's too expensive, then go for the one that your shoe fits. Like the Declan Rices and Vlahovic. Go for those guys. Yeah. But let our names be in these big time signings. That let our name float out there, so these guys know that Arsenal is serious. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. This is a point that was thought. I heard somebody bring this up yesterday, and this is regarding about this, and I didn't think about it. Like I said, just speaking of hypothetical, is that since the Copa America, we got the World Cup coming, Stan Kroenke is going to want to show off all these trophies when the World Cups get here. So we're getting ready. We're getting into the end game with this phase. We're in phase 75 now, and so it's coming to a close. So I expect us to start moving big, like you said earlier, Ola. This Declan Rice deal. This is not the finishing. This is the beginning, as far as I'm concerned. If we're not in for a player like Mbappe, there are players out there. You got Ivan Toney, who we've said time and time again, he'll be well rested and pissed off. That's always good to have a player that's well rested and pissed off. And then you've got Dusan Vlahovic, which is you can probably get him for a couple of nickels. The bottom line here is that if and somebody brought this up earlier, and I'm not gonna go back to it because we're getting ready to scoot out of here. But somebody brought this up earlier about getting rid of deadwood. And this is what you do. You use the deadwood to fund the deals to bring in quality players. You got to move the deadwood out of there. Y'all know who it is. He needs to go, needs to be moved on. Some of these players that are not quality need to be moved on so that we can get some quality in this team. So would I love to Mbappe to come? Absolutely. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't, that far as I'm concerned, that'd be the second coming of Brother Henry, And I know all the links there. Oh man, that's his favorite player. It's Arsenal. But we like you said, Ola, we've been around the sun a few times. We've seen this before. We've seen this. Ola, tell the people where they can find you at, brother.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. You can check us out on YouTube, the Fight Week Show. It's a MMA content based channel. So if you love your combat sports, and MMA in particular, UFC, Bellator, PFL, Cage Warrior guys, we speak to all these professional fighters. We do watch along on pay-per-view nights, and then we invite professional fighters to join us on the show where they can tell us some of the things that we're viewing as it's going live. So if you like that sort of thing, and mixed martial arts is your thing, come check us out on the Fight Week Show. We're doing the Lord's work over there, man. Come show us some support. That's
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Tony, tell everybody. First off, you had a great show. Yeah, you had a great show this week, man. You've been rolling this week, man.
Yeah, man.
So what you got coming up, man? What you got coming up on the docket?
Yeah, man. Guys, this week marked a very big sequence to my channel. I brought in Big Steve, MCFC, big YouTuber, 18K subscribers in his channel, and he came in and chopped it up with me, on my channel, Tony Club Gunner TV. And, we had a good chat. He talked about Arsenal. I talked about Manchester City's winning mentality. So guys, see, it's very simple. Ola, who is here with us right now, has always been my collaborator. We've contributed on a lot of stuff. Shout out to Shannon, the Fight Week channel. If you love combat sports, just go down there. He does a lot of those stuff. That's what he does. But also, he also loves football. And luckily for me, this is my catch. I have a separate show on my channel with Ola, because he's a very great guy to talk football. I feel, around my comfort zone whenever I talk football with this brother. And that show, of course, is the Ola and Claude show. And, you can check it out. Of course, we also call it Prem Talk. You can check it out on my channel too. And, I have other big things coming up next week. Me and my brother, Matt Odom, the Southern Gunner, we're back on my own channel next week for the transfer show. Guys, come on, man. whenever me and Matt is on this lines, yeah, you know it's always going to be fire. You know there's always going to be jollof rice and some spice, some Southern spice all over it. So, just come up week and come check me and Matt. Adam, do our thing. Matt, man, it's always a pleasure doing show.
Likewise, brother.
Man, I love you, my brother, man.
Likewise,
you,
man.
Thanks.
And
Ola, you too, man. Thanks for always having my back, always, man. God bless you, my brother, man. It's all love.
We need more weeks like this for the Arsenal. This was a great week, man. Business is moving. Do y'all realize that we are just about ready to start preseason? We've got a week and some change. I think the 13th is the first game. So preseason's getting here, man, and the fellas will be here in the States. By the way, I'm not going to the internet. I'm not paying $400 for a damn ticket. I'm telling you that now. I'll watch it from the comfort of my house. I may do a watch along. Hadn't decided yet, but Ola will be back. We'll be getting ready to go over the league soon because the season to be here before you know it, man. So
yeah, that's right.
Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been great, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all were popping today, man. Future, I just saw you got in here, brother. Good to see you all. Mama Flossie, always good to see you, dear. Coming through. Brother Herbert, always good to see you as well, man. Pablo, yeah, always good to see you, brother. And everybody, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'll probably be hopping around on a couple of channels, as Tony alluded to this week. And so we are going to get out of here. Oh, by the way, today I'm going to a fish fry, so I'm going to be enjoying myself.
We leave United to have a go at the Europa League.
Don't say
in the cookout.
No, don't
in
say
the cookout.
Because
that's good.
Fish to fry today. The cookout, baby, with some seasoning.
In the cookout with Edward and them lot. That's good.
All my people in the States, have a great happy Independence Day weekend, man. Be safe out there. We are out. Peace.